Hello and welcome to Rise and Unwind. I'm AV. Each week, we connect with people all over the country to spotlight things you can check out right in your own neighborhood. On this week's show, we've got a little bit of everything, such as this.
This is really the sort of big clash of like an act 3 of a film.
I always say focusing on small, realistic changes makes it so much easier to stay consistent and build momentum.
All that and more right here on Rise and Unwind.
Ever feel like the job market keeps changing faster than your resume? A lot of people start the year with career goals, new skills, a new role, maybe even going back to school, but many aren't sure what employers actually want right now. So joining us today is Dr. Terrance Hopson, Regional Vice President at Western Governors University, with insight on what job ready really means. Welcome to the show, Dr. Hopson. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing okay. A lot of people set career resolutions this time of year. What do you think is the biggest misconception about what it means to be job ready right now?
Yes, I've received the degree, so I can check that box off and I'm ready to jump into the workforce. And that may be true for some individuals, but the reality is employers are telling us at WGU in our Workforce Decoded survey that employers are looking for demonstrated skill from individuals that and for them to be able to use that to jump right into the workforce. So applying that knowledge and that theory into practice is really important, which is way better than actually just having the actual degree.
When employers are sorting through applicants, what can people actually do to stand out in that hiring process?
Yeah, so the most important thing that they can do is look at the skill of the job rather than the job title itself. Employers are looking for individuals who can problem solve. What have you done in the past and how can you bring it over to this job? What skills that you utilize? We're going back to that word skills. Skills are really important. And then what were the results that you were able to yield as well? And that's also coupled with certificates. Employers are valuing certificates now, right? Those are really important because they are also high workforce need areas. So employers are looking for individuals to have these certificates that they can stack up to an actual degree, which helps them stand out a little bit more.
And turning education into real career momentum can feel tricky. How are tools or resources that help people clearly show their skills and their experience?
Yeah, so I would say the first thing that individuals should do is choose a career path that's aligned with a high workforce need area. And at WGU, we offer over 80 degree and certificate programs that are aligned to this. The other thing that I'll say is take advantage of things like LinkedIn Learning that has a lot of resources and can help you kind of further your skill set. The other thing is individuals should take advantage of places like Career Services. Career Services has a plethora of resources that help individuals become gainfully employed. And at WGU, our Career Services department, they work with our students on those soft skills, those employable skills, so they can help them enter into the job market post-graduation.
And for working adults that are going back to school or changing careers, that can feel overwhelming. How important is mentorship or helping people stay on track?
Yeah, it can feel very overwhelming to jump in and, start a degree for the first time or the second time or even the third time. So mentorship is really important. And at WGU, all of our students are partnered with a program mentor from day one. And these program mentors are everything under the sun. They're the coach, they're the motivator. And they're going to be the individual that works with our students to make sure they're making on-time completion. And one of the things that I love about our model is that all of our program mentors, not only content experts, but they've worked in the industry as well. And really what that allows is for our students to have another resource at their disposal anytime they have questions about the job market, workforce, or even questions about their courses here at WGU. That mentor is there to support them.
All right. I want to thank you for being here today. Where can our viewers go for more information?
To learn more, they can go to wgu.edu.
Dr. Terrance Hopson, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Hearing the word cancer is overwhelming, and for some patients, the journey doesn't end after one round of treatment. Multiple myeloma is a blood cancer that can return, making education and communication especially important. Joining us are Dave, who also lived with multiple myeloma for several years, and Dr. Robert Rifkin, a hematologist oncologist with UC Health Systems. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We're delighted to be here on behalf of GSK.
So, Dave, how did you first learn you had multiple myeloma, and what were the early days like for you?
Well, it all began with a routine visit for my annual physical. And during that visit, they drew blood, and the next day they called me. They told me that I had severe anemia, and they set up an appointment with an oncologist for me at a local Boston area cancer facility, which was close to where I live. And I went in, and they drew blood, and while I was waiting for the results from that blood work, I slipped and fell at work when I was in the men's room, and I broke my femur, did damage to my hip. And so I was now in a hospital bed awaiting surgery. And while I was waiting for that surgery, they informed me that I had multiple myeloma, and I had no idea what it was. I had never heard of this. And so I went ahead and had the surgery. I was released just 2 days later, and then I was back in the oncologist's office. And during that visit, he told me I had a very aggressive form of the disease, and my treatment then began that same afternoon. And this all unfolded over a period of just 5 or 6 days.
What has it been like to experience multiple relapses, both physically and mentally on you, Dave?
It's been very, very hard, I have to say. And the reason I say that is I've been on this journey for over 7 years now, and I've been fortunate to be in several periods of remission, but I've had several relapses. And when you have a relapse, I would say my feelings range from being disappointed, discouraged, and certainly scared. Because when you have a relapse, it means the treatment plan you're on is no longer working. You have to very quickly find something that does work. And if I look back from the time I was initially diagnosed and the whole journey over the last 7 years, my wife and I initially thought that there'd be no way we'd be able to continue doing a lot of the things we enjoyed and loved to do. And that has not been the case. As an example, we like to travel. And over the last few years, we've done things like traveled out of state to go to our middle son's wedding. Last fall, we went on a bit of a cooking and eating tour in parts of Italy. And the end of last year, we went to an island with our 3 adult boys and our daughter-in-law. And we're also dog lovers. A couple years ago, we adopted a dog. And so we have been able to do many of the things that we really love to do over the years while navigating this disease. And that's allowed us to maintain a very high level of normalcy in our lives.
Dr. Rifkin, can you explain the simple terms that multiple myeloma is and why it's different from other cancers?
Myeloma is a blood cancer with about 36,000 new cases each year in the United States. Importantly, over 150,000 patients are living with and getting treated for multiple myeloma. It does arise in the bone marrow where plasma cells become mutated. They then crowd out normal elements in the marrow, and they can produce anemia like our patient had. They can cause renal injury, and they can also cause a weakening or fracture of the bones. But this is a good time because we now have brand new classes of agents and new ways to treat myeloma. In particular, Blenrep in combination with bortezomib and dexamethasone was recently approved by FDA to treat patients with myeloma that has come back or didn't respond after 2 or more treatments. Most importantly, when you're selecting a treatment, you need to discuss everything with your healthcare professionals and your other medical conditions. Blenrep, just like anything else, can cause side effects. In particular, there is a serious one that results in eye problems with decreased vision. This is common but can occasionally be severe. So importantly, those taking this brand new drug need to see an eye care professional prior to each dose. And this will now be readily available in the community so patients don't have to travel large distances to get effective treatments for their myeloma in relapse.
As treatment options continue to evolve, what should patients be asking their doctors to better understand what may be appropriate for them?
Well, I think it's always fair to ask your doctor what new treatments are on the horizon and really involve your whole healthcare team. Additionally, Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation and the International Myeloma Foundation have excellent patient websites with good education, and they'll often bring forward new treatments that you can ask your physician about.
Dr. Rifkin, for viewers who want to learn more or take the next step to understand their options, where can they go for reliable information?
So I think the most reliable information should come from your healthcare team. And then the two large myeloma organizations, Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation and the International Myeloma Foundation, have excellent websites. The more the patient becomes educated, the more they are empowered, and you can pick a treatment that's convenient, safe, and effective.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for letting us know your journey with this disease. And Dr. Robert Rifkin, thank you for the information. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Every January, we hear the same thing: new year, new you. But most people just want to feel better without flipping their whole life upside down. TV host and lifestyle expert Jamie Hess is here with simple wellness ideas that actually make sense. It's good to see you, Jamie.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about it. A lot of folks start strong and then fall off. What helps people stay consistent without stressing out?
Yeah, we hear it all the time, right? But New Year's resolutions aren't just about starting big new habits that aren't sustainable. It's really about checking in with yourself and choosing what fits into your everyday life. I always say focusing on small, realistic changes makes it so much easier to stay consistent and build momentum. And that is where Target can be a partner on your wellness journey. You know, the retailer is entering a new era in wellness, expanding its assortment by 30% with thousands of new items under $10. So Target's really simplifying what's defining wellness in 2026 with the curation of the newest, most trend-forward and budget-friendly options, which just makes it easier to find what works for you.
So we all know schedules can be packed. What are some easy wellness habits that still make a difference?
Yeah, well, a big wellness trend right now is just getting back to basics, right? It's being more intentional with those everyday choices, things like gut health, functional beverages, convenient protein. For me, it all starts in the morning when I can do like a simple swap out that helps set the tone for the day. So my new favorite gut healthy breakfast is the Coconut Cult probiotic coconut yogurt with flavors in single serve sizes you can only find at Target. I also like switching up my morning coffee with something called Rise mushroom coffee. It just feels more balanced than my usual cup, which I really appreciate on busy mornings. And then later in the day, when I'm really craving something sweet, right, that 3 p.m. monster comes out, I reach for a Misfits plant-based protein bar. It is so tasty. It tastes like a candy bar, but it's also packed with protein.
Great. I've heard some great things about Rise and mushrooms, and definitely do some research on that. And how can people build a self-care routine that feels doable instead of overwhelming?
Yeah, self-care shouldn't feel like a chore. It really works best when it's simple and realistic. I tend to gravitate towards routines that don't take a lot of time, but still feel intentional. So Target's a great place to go for those types of self-care essentials. My new favorite is the Target exclusive. It's called Remedy Skin 3-Care Skincare Kit. So it's formulated by a dermatologist named Dr. Shaw. You might have seen him all over TikTok. It includes a cleanser, a vitamin C brightening serum, and a moisturizing cream, which really helps take the guesswork out of skincare. And then for a quick moment of self-care during the day, I also love the Prequel Multi-Quench Hydration Face Mist, which just fits seamlessly into my routine. And then for families, I'm a mom of 2 little boys, having those everyday staples around the house, it really matters. And Target's expanded its assortment and solutions for the whole family. I love this one, the Tubby Todd All Over Ointment. This is one of those great do-it-all staples. Mom and dad can use it. The kiddos can use it. It's just a rich, creamy balm made with plant-based ingredients. And while we're talking about the kiddos, something called the First Day Kids Multi-Gummies is going to fit easily into those busy family routines. These delicious gummies are made to fill those common nutrient gaps and also support energy, focus, and immune health, which I care about a lot with my 2 little boys.
See, you should have started off with you have 2 kids. That's a workout in itself.
Hello.
But you have found time to still work out on top of that. So let's do that. Let's talk for people who say, I don't have time to work out. What are some simple ways to stay active?
I mean, people tell me all the time, how do you stay motivated? And I'm like, I don't always stay motivated, but when I'm not motivated, I get a cute new workout outfit. like, duh, that's the best way to want to go to the gym, right? It really actually, there's a lot of like psychology behind that. So Target just launched a bright, colorful mix and match collection from JoyLab, like this cute piped sports bra paired with the matching high-rise piped leggings. Maybe for a gal in your life, I know for me, that gets me right out the door, whether it's a workout, errands, or everything in between. And Target's actually going to be adding thousands of new apparel and accessories items throughout the year, so you can refresh your gear for the season.
I was gonna say those look great, but yeah, I'm definitely
You
gonna
don't
have
wanna
to
wear
pass from. Yeah, for me, no.
Right.
Where can viewers go to find out more tips and ideas?
You can find everything we talked about today at Target stores, on Target.com, or in the Target app. It's just such a great place to explore affordable, everyday wellness options that fit into your real life.
There you go. TV host and lifestyle expert Jamie Hess, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Ever wonder what happens when a football star gets a second shot at his dreams? Well, under a fake name. Hulu's new comedy Chad Powers follows Glenn Powell as a disgraced quarterback who reinvents himself in the most unexpected ways. So joining us is Wynn Everett. She plays Trisha, a Southern socialite and booster caught up in the wild world of small-town football. Welcome to the show, Wynn. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. The show has such a fun premise. There's a quarterback pretending to be someone else just to get back on the field. What first hooked you about Chad Powers when you read the script?
Well, Chad Powers came to me as one of the greatest gifts of my lifetime because I had moved back home to Atlanta, to the South. I was raised in Atlanta. And I had done New York for 9 years and Los Angeles. My husband and I decided we want to move back to the South, to Atlanta. And then I've been working here. And then all of a sudden, one day in my email box, I get a script called Chad Powers that was going to be shot here in my hometown in Atlanta with a Southern crew and a Southern creator that wrote this, Michael Waldron. He's also from Atlanta, and Glenn Powell. Together, they created the show. And I was hooked from page one. I was laughing out loud. They created characters that had depth and heart and humor and wit, and sometimes said the most outrageous things and then sometimes said the most tender things. And I fell in love.
And your character, Trisha, brings a lot of Southern charm and maybe a little mischief. How would you describe her personally and the role that she plays in pretty much all this?
So Trisha is the head booster for the South Georgia Catfish. She is in charge of really getting the money for our program, our college football program. And she is very invested. And that's where we come with, in the beginning, in episode 1, we don't have a quarterback. And Trisha wants that quarterback. She wants that position filled ASAP so we can get this program going and get a winning season. And in walks Chad Powers in an open tryout audition. As you can tell, I'm a theater kid.
No worries about that. Speaking of, how did you find inspiration for the role? Anybody that you watch, go to the DMV, go to PTA meetings? What got you there to turn into this character?
Well, when I read it, I actually called a dear friend of mine who works with the boosters at the University of Georgia. And so he kind of walked me through what a booster meeting looks like and how these ladies act and work with the people that are donating to the team and to the school. And he really, really helped inform me sort of the world of boosters, which is it's an insane culture in and of itself. And so I was really able to draw from that. And then, for Trisha, she's just every Southern woman that I was raised by. My mother is a bit of a Trisha. I have Trisha in my neighborhood right now that mothers me, just people that are in charge and can sometimes be bossy. I don't want to say that too loud because then my mother will call me. And they're just loving, but they also will tell you what to do, and they've got some opinions.
I could almost guarantee your mom's not watching this show.
I'm safe. I can say everything.
Good. Yeah, no, all spoilers allowed here. It kind of takes a shot at sports culture, but also redemption and identity. What kind of conversations were happening on set about those deeper themes and behind some of the laughs you guys got?
Well, and that's what I think is people that watch this show, it is not what you expect. It's taken from a 10-minute sketch of Eli Manning's, and Glenn Powell and Michael Waldron created this entire world, but it is just not what you expect. It's got the witty moments, it's got the humor, it's got the comedy, but then it can be very dark. The characters say things that are super inappropriate and very vulnerable at times and make you very uncomfortable. And then it's got a lot of tenderness that people are not expecting. So we just want so much for people. If you think you know what it is and you don't want to watch it, we want you to tune in, and we hope to change your mind and that you fall in love with this world.
And you've had such a wide-ranging career, from Agent Carter to Doom Patrol and now Chad Powers. How does this project stand out for you compared to some of your other past roles?
This just stands out for me because it's my heart. It's where I was born and raised in the South in Georgia. It's got the characters that I grew up with. It's got a voice and an energy about it that I know. I know the energy of the South and the University of Georgia my parents went to, where we filmed our finale at the University of Georgia in the actual stadium with 93,000 fans all there. It's all real. It's all live. It's crazy what they did as a production in that scene in the finale. And so this is just a super special project to me. It's basically like coming home.
Wynn, I want to thank you for joining me today. You can catch Chad Powers. It's now streaming on Hulu with new episodes every Tuesday. Whenever. Thanks for joining me today, my friend.
Thank you. Love you guys, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for plugging the show.
Do you ever wonder what happens when love, family, and small town drama all collide? That's the heart of My Life with the Walter Boys. After a whirlwind first season, the story is back with even more twists, tension, and second chances. Joining us are Nikki Rodriguez, Noah Lalonde, and Ashby Gentry, better known as Jackie, Cole, and Alex, to talk about season 2 and now streaming on Netflix. Welcome to the show, you three. How are you?
Thank you.
Doing
So
well.
good.
Thank you.
All right, Nikki, your character Jackie went through a lot this season. How does she approach coming back to Silver Falls after spending the summer in New York?
Yeah, I think, when she comes back to Silver Falls this time, I think she's ready to kind of face things head on a little bit. And I think she just wants to be like the perfect version of herself to kind of just make up for her past in a way. So I think that's her overall goal this season.
And Noah, Cole is stepping into a new role at school this season. What's it like to explore that side of him, and how does it affect his relationships?
Yeah, I think it was fascinating to step into that new side of him, because I think it's a version of himself that's taking ownership over his life after throughout season 1 there was a lot of directing blame on other people and kind of self-sabotaging. So I think, taking ownership of your path and allowing, that growth to happen and start to prepare to be who you want to be for other people in your life, your family, the people who you want to show up for. So that was it was a cool turn to take.
Ashby, and your character, Alex, seemed to have changed a lot since we last saw him. How did you prepare to show that growth, especially with his focus on rodeo training?
Well, I listened to a lot of cowboy podcasts and watched a lot of YouTube videos and walked through the park a lot. And the rest of it, you'll have to see on screen. Yeah.
The show is based on a beloved book, and it's taken a life of its own. What's been like interacting with fans and hearing from them and seeing how connected they are to your characters and the story?
I mean, it's been an absolute dream come true. I think you always hope that you're bringing the character, like you're doing justice in a way. And so it's just been really lovely, the response.
And is there anything that you are expecting or would hope that your audience will take from season 2?
Yeah, of course. I think I hope that they would take it. I hope that they would to take away some of the lessons that are to be yourself, to love hard and love your family, and just know that if tomorrow doesn't work out, the next day is always there.
All right, I want to thank you three for joining me this morning. Season 2 of My Life with the Walter Boys is streaming now on Netflix. Make sure you watch and catch all of the drama that's been unfolding in Silver Falls. Thank you three for joining me.
Thank you. Have a good one.
It's one thing to imagine an alien invasion, but it's another to build a show that makes you feel like you're living through it. Invasion is back for season 3 on Apple TV+, and this time the fight takes us straight into the hearts of the alien mothership. From X-Men to The Martian, Simon Kinberg knows how to tell a big cinematic story, and he's here to talk about raising the stakes, bringing characters together, and what we can expect for this next wave when it hits. Welcome to the show, Simon. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Happy to be here.
All right, so this season brings all of the perspectives from like the past seasons together for the first time. How did that shift change and the tone and the pace of the show?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I was most excited about, really from the beginning of conceiving the show, was that eventually all of these different strands of stories and characters would come together. And it took us, 2 full seasons and now into our 3rd season to finally bring these characters together, because they started in all these disparate places, from Asia to the US to Europe to Northern Africa. And finally, all of our main characters are sort of smashed together on a mission that adds a different level of stakes and in some ways sort of action and velocity to the season 2. The show has been picking up pace as the seasons go on. The first season was kind of like Act 1 of a movie, and the second season was Act 2, where things start to pick up, and then this is really the sort of big clash of like an Act 3 of a film.
And Invasion always has these balanced global, has always these different personal stories from around the world. How do you make sure those human moments will shine in such a big sci-fi setting?
Well, for me, the opportunity and the challenge of the show is to keep it really intimate while also making it really, massive in scale and scope. And the movies that I watched growing up, whether it was E.T. or Star Wars, or Back to the Future or Terminator, they always did a really good job of balancing those two things, the epic and the intimate. And so I just look to those as sort of my North Stars when I'm trying to find the right balance for the show.
And you've got some familiar faces back and some new cast members. What can you tell us about the dynamics between the characters this season?
Well, this season is just completely different than the previous 2 seasons, because all these characters come together for the first time. And so they're having to learn to be a team. The main characters that people who've watched the first couple of seasons hopefully have come to love and have followed. This is the first time that they're really interacting and really forced to become like a little family to survive. And so the dynamic is completely different, because we have all of these people from different parts of the world coming together on a singular mission to try to save the world.
And for fans who've been with Invasion from the start, and maybe for those who are jumping in now, what's one of the things that you hope is a good takeaway from season 3?
I think the thing that's the biggest and coolest thing about season 3 is that we have all these characters coming together for the first time. That you see, if you've been watching, and even if you haven't, you see these characters from completely different worlds, some of whom don't even fully speak the same languages, certainly from completely different cultures and backgrounds. They're all smashed together on a mission that's critical to the survival of the human race, and so the stakes are super high for these characters, and it's a chance for them to get to know each other in the way that we as audience have come to know them.
Simon Kimber, thanks for joining us this morning. Invasion Season 3 is streaming now on Apple TV+, with new episodes dropping every Friday through October 24th. Dive in, catch up, and see what happens when the fight to save humanity goes straight to the mothership. Hey, thanks for joining us, Simon.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for this week's Rise and Unwind. I'm AV. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you want to keep up with the show, then you can find us on social media. Just search Rise Unwind on IG or Facebook. We've also got YouTube at Rise Unwind. You can find everything in one place at riseunwindtv.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk at you soon.